at first I said I was going to use this without a case because it was plastic and cheaper, but then it's still much smaller than my Note 9. I like the big size, even though it's the XL. Even without the case, it's smaller. So there's the Note 9 with it, so you can kind of see. I'll put them face to face. There's a little bigger on the Note there, and of course, I either use this heavy-duty case or the case from the Nimbus 9, which adds some, makes it bigger while I'm typing. I got big hands, 6'1", 240. Right, I throw that in there because a lot of people online seem to have small hands and they complain about phones being too big, but I like a big phone. I also like first-party cases, so I thought I would try this guy out. This thing's $40 on Amazon, which seems a little extravagant, but I find that first-party cases tend to fit better, or at least more to my liking. Very simple packaging. Just a little Team Pixel notice here. Nothing too special. Inside, it's this weird color, along with this color here. It was either this one or carbon, which was solid black. Much like the phone, I got the solid black version. I kind of wish I got the white version because I kind of wish I got the white version just to be a little different. And it kind of it's just all black, but I thought maybe this would make it stand out a little better. So if you put it in there, makes it kind of easier to hit the fingerprint sensor, and of course you can still access the volume just fine, power button just fine. So I don't know, maybe I should go. It's a fabric feel, so I don't know if it's gonna get dirty or tear up or what. It's a little weird. Size wise, still not as big as the Note 9, but it helps. I think it'll help typing. I don't know if I'm gonna like this gray in person as much as now. Maybe I wish I got the black one. Alright, anyhow, I'm gonna give this a shot. I'll try it out for a little bit. Certainly tonight I'll be using it, and then we'll see. I took my SIM back out and put it in my Note 9 because I had a bunch of business calls, but now I'm putting it back in here, even though I'm probably getting the OnePlus 7 Pro, but I'm gonna go back to the Pixel for at least tonight. Alright, we'll follow back up. Alright, so I've had the Pixel. I've been using it as a daily driver for about 2 weeks now. I used the case for about 1 day, and then I didn't like it and I took it off. I haven't dropped it at all. I feel pretty comfortable with it. I don't find it slick. I mean, I've had no problems. I really like the phone. Fingerprint sensor is fast and quick. Has a lot of cool stuff like night light, so it makes a yellow tint right at night. So that's my standard Android stuff, but it looks good. I changed my wallpaper to this. I kind of like it. In general, I'm pretty happy with the phone. The camera's pretty great, of course. And I know Pixel always wins, like is the top camera, but a lot of times they say iPhones are better, and I've never had a Pixel. I always have Samsung devices like this Note. And like my brother and sister and wife all have iPhones, and they usually say my pictures look better. And I'm no photographer. I don't know shit about taking pictures. I just point it and click the button, and it usually looks really good. All Samsung, not my doing. And I feel like my pictures are really good here as well. I've taken some videos. I've taken pictures. You know, everything seems to be great. I have no real complaints about the phone. I like having the headphone jack, of course. If you can see that.
Here's the definition of course. Used to introduce.
The squeeze thing, I don't really use. There's a headphone jack, you can kind of see it. I don't find me using the squeeze thing. I do use this little swipe over guy and I've gotten used to using Android messages, and I really like having the access on the web. That's cool. I mean, that's not Google Pixel specific, but I still like it. I really like this little thing where it just tracks all the songs you hear throughout the day. I mean, these are pretty neat. It just hears everything, like not just shit I'm listening to, but shit on the radio or just anything ever. So it's pretty cool. Like, we were at my son's graduation, and I wanted to know. I was listening to, they were playing a song while they were showing the videos, and I thought it was neat that I could easily just click on there and see what it was. I mean, obviously you could normally do it by clicking on the, with Samsung. I could just click on this guy, and then if a song's playing, I'll tell you here. But it's nice this does it automatically. It's just built into Pixels. I've gotten used to using it. Actually, as much as I originally was annoyed by not being able to go to the 3 buttons down here like this, I've really gotten used to this whole swipe up thing, especially for the apps, right? I mean, I've really got used to that, and I kind of like it. And whenever I pick my Note back up, it confuses me for a second. I can't just swipe up because I've really gotten used to it and I like it. I will say, anytime I pick up my Note just to mess with it, and again, to be fair, the Note 9 was $1,000 and this is $479. You really notice how much bigger the Note screen is, and you notice how much better the Note screen is. This is the, obviously, Pixel 3a XL, but it's very noticeable how much better the screen is on the Note compared to the Pixel. I just bought the OnePlus 7 Pro, and I'm hoping, like, if the Pixel was the size of the Note, I wouldn't have hardly any complaints, really. I do like Samsung. I don't know if you've watched some other videos, but I've had a lot of Samsung's phones, and this Note 9 I really keep coming back to. Since I've purchased this Note 9, I've tried the Razer phone, I've tried the BlackBerry, well, not the BlackBerry, I've tried the Razer phone, I've tried the OnePlus 6T. It's just nothing. Everything brings me back to the Note. And I had the S10, which I'm recording this on, and I always come back to the Note. I mean, it's only been 1 week, but I've had no problems. I've not wanted to switch back to the Note at all. I've been perfectly happy with this. Battery life's been pretty good. I usually don't pay attention to people's screen on time because I'm a very heavy user. I never see anything like what people post on TV or on YouTube, right? I don't get those kind of screen on times for my phones. I think the phone's cool looking. This is an Android thing. Most of the buttons are on this side. I'm used to how Samsung splits up their buttons on volume on one side and power on the other side, so that confuses me sometimes. I'm just muscle memory. I'm trying to take a screenshot by clicking. One feature I do really miss is Samsung has the built-in. One thing I do miss, like Samsung, you have this scroll option. When you take a screenshot, you see this little arrow here, and then it scrolls down. If it's gonna work. Yeah, there you go. So you see it. So now my screenshot is a long screenshot. You don't have that option on the Pixel, right? If you take a screenshot, I do like it has this editor built in. I don't think older Google phones have that, where you can like draw and stuff. So that's cool. And there's like the highlighter, I guess, if you wanted to just highlight stuff. So that's nice, because they didn't used to have that, I don't believe. But it's still not as good as Samsung screenshot tool. Huawei had a really great one when I had the Huawei Mate 9. Obviously, those phones are borderline illegal now, so you won't be seeing that. I think OnePlus has as well. Let's see, what else I like. So, I've made a lot of phone calls. I use my phone for work, my real job, not my YouTube job. And I've used it with the HyperX gaming headset, right? And with the headphone jack, and it works great. That's one thing I'm not looking forward to with the 7 Pro, the OnePlus 7 Pro, because it doesn't have a headphone jack. So, like, one day the power wasn't up, so I had to plug it in, and I still had my headphone jack as well. So that was cool. Here's an idea of the screen, right? So if you look at the same app, you can see how much bigger the Note 9 screen is, and how much more stuff you can get on the display. Right, so it's, I mean, the Note 9's a bigger phone, right? So that's that set up there. So let's see. I do wish it had wireless charging, because that's how my setup is. I usually set the phone next to my bed on my tilt view wireless charger at night, and then I'll wake up to 100%. Obviously, I could just move a cord there and plug it in, but most of the phones I've had in the past, from the Note 9 to the Razer to the Moto Z with the back piece, almost all my phones will have wireless charging. So that's just my setup, having a wireless charger next to bed. That's really for me where it shines. That's really where wireless charging is the best for me, is because you can just put it next to your bed, and then if I wake up in the middle of the night and want to grab my phone, it's real easy, right? As opposed to having to plug it back in, or when I get up to go check something out, go to the bathroom, if I hear a noise and I gotta go punch an intruder in the face, then I can just set my phone back down real simple without having to plug it back in. One thing I'd like to note is that phone calls have sounded fine. Someone on Android Central on their forum said it was quiet for them, but I have not noticed that at all. It sounds perfectly fine to me. Moto phones used to have that issue where it was like the earpiece volume, like when you hold the phone to your head and make a phone call, it sounded quiet, but I haven't had that problem. I will say the calendar has also been kind of weird. Like if you, like I said, I use my phone for work. You can see my work email through Gmail there. When you click on one of those OnePlus or the calendar invite that says like a one click, they're kind of made for iPhone, but usually my Samsung phone handles them no problem. You just click on it and it makes the call and hits all the codes for a conference call for you. For some reason, I've noticed this one, old Suck It Tony, also has a Pixel phone. And I noticed that when he was calling into conference calls, because we work together, it will beep. It's like it dials it twice. Google Calendar can't handle the built-in codes well, and it dials the number twice. So when you join the phone call, you hear all these button codes coming in, which makes you sound stupid. So the Pixel does that. Samsung does not. I think it's Google Calendar causing the problem, but it's annoying. I like this little thing. I've used it on my Samsung phone as well in the past. Not in this current one, but I do like the weather update. The weather, I don't like having the clock, so I go right to my clock. So a lot of those Google things I do like. Oh yeah, I will say something interesting as well. So I have this HyperX gaming headset, and it has a little mute switch right here. And I use this, it mutes it when I record games for Twitch or just making videos for YouTube. When I use it for a phone call on the Note 9, when I turn that little mute switch, it didn't mute it. It just kept talking. And then when I used it on the Pixel, it did mute it. So I just thought that was odd. It doesn't make any sense why it does it, but it's just interesting. No reason to buy it or not buy it. But I hate that I like this, but I really like how thin it is. Now Tony, old Suck It Tony, said that it was thicker than his Pixel 2 XL. But obviously it's drastically thinner than my Note 9 with this case. Like I said, Note 9 is a $1,000 phone. I love this phone. I just can't bring myself to use it without a case. This phone was substantially cheaper and it's plastic. I just thought, why not try it without a case? And so far I really like it without a case. I've gotten really used to not having a case on it. And it's, now granted, if I ever drop it and break it, then I might regret that decision. But for now, I really like having it without a case. Battery life has been fine. Like I said, I still wish I had wireless charging. I've had no problems charging things up. This is all standard Google stuff, but like I said, I'm not a Pixel person. I usually have Samsung or LG. Moto's the closest I've came. I had a Nexus 6 a long time ago, but for the most part, all my phones have had some kind of skin version of Android. When I'm making a phone call, so when I use this is a screenshot I took of when I was on a call. I like how big these buttons are. I like that it clearly tells me I'm on a Wi-Fi call versus on a cell. The HD, nice big button for mute. My wired headset. The Samsung calls, even though the phone's so big, the screen doesn't look that big. Like, there's been lots of times with Samsung, I've tried to mute it and I hung up the phone call. I mean, granted, that's my own fault, but even with this much larger screen, I think this one's easier to access. And then, here's one without the Wi-Fi calling. It has the HD signature. You can see where I muted it. No, I think this is a nice laid out call screen, so that's a positive for Google. They just got to figure out that calendar thing. Pictures have been good. I guess I'll try to post a couple in here. I mean, again, I'm no photographer. I'm just taking pictures of random shit. So again, if it wasn't for me getting this, look how big that phone is. I gotta even zoom out. If it wasn't for me getting this OnePlus 7 Pro, I would probably stick with the Pixel. And that's saying something because every other phone, from the Razer Phone 2 to the S10 Plus, I've always gone back to my Note 9. I'm perfectly content with this. I have it paired to my watch. It's been working fine. I have no qualms. I will say, people give Samsung a lot of shit, but I love Samsung products. You can see my Duolingo popping up here. I don't know if it's RAM management or what, but every once in a while, notifications will kind of like disappear on here, whereas Samsung will keep like 60 of them up here. Like they'll just tell me I have a shitload whenever I don't check them. And I feel like I broke my Duo streak because I forgot about it, because my little notification was disappeared because I had so much stuff popping up. Like I said, I use it for work. I get a lot of emails. I get a lot of text. I get notifications from YouTube, from my channel. I get Slack messages from old Suck It Tony. And it's just, comes and goes, and then these things roll off there. Whereas, and I have that problem with a lot of phones, not just this. Samsung really seems to be the only people that know how to handle notifications. That was a major problem with the OnePlus 6T. It would miss notifications all the time. So I'm hoping the 7 fixes that, or else I'll be going right back to one of these two guys. And even though I am switching to this guy, as soon as I get done recording this video, I plan on keeping this for one, just to use, and two, I will probably make it my go-to camera phone for my YouTube channel. For one, I have a DJI Osmo Mobile 2 gimbal, this thing that I'm recording this on. I've been using my S10 to record, but I can't get to the headphone jack, so if I stand right next to it, my audio quality is okay, but I prefer to have the headphone jack plugged in and use these HyperX to make the videos, and the microphone's right by my mouth, so it's a little clearer. Anyhow, that's very specific to me, but either way, point being, the Pixel's been pretty great. I haven't had any problems with it. The missing the notification things, again, that could be, I could have just missed it, but I just feel like I don't miss notifications as much with the Samsung. Again, I would like it a little bit bigger. Oh, another thing to note, this is obviously the top line processor. Last year, 845, and then the S10's the 855. This is like the 670 or something like that. It's a budget processor, mid-range processor. I haven't really noticed any problems. No slowdowns. Again, I'm a heavy user. You can see how many apps I have on here, right? I go through a ton of stuff. I haven't noticed any slowdowns. There's been no lags, no freezing up, none of those problems. I don't have those problems with the Note 9 either. I mean, occasionally get like a smidge of lag, but it's more of a Samsung thing. But I don't have any issues with this, really. I thought I was going to have a lot of trouble going from the two. One thing I had missed the most is this dumb little swipe over thing. I love this little feature. And I like Samsung's built-in reminder app. I find this Samsung reminder service to be better than Wunderlist, to be better than any of the reminder services. So I missed that feature. I do like Samsung's calendar better. I've had no problems with the camera or the messaging app. Keep Notes is fine. I mean, I do like Samsung Notes. I use that for mostly everything right here. Samsung Notes on my Note 9. I do like this vertical scrolling app drawer. Google Pay is obviously inferior to Samsung Pay, but it's not bad. Yeah, I mean, you see I have a lot of heavy stuff on here, like I'm watching Ring videos from my doorbell. I'm listening to music on here, the audio sounds fine, the Bluetooth works fine. It's staying paired with my watch is fine, it connects to my home Wi-Fi. Every time I come home, I've never had any problems. I've used the hotspot in my Jeep for my Jeep head unit. And like I said, it's just been pretty great. I've had no concern with it. If you want the best, I'd say the Note 9 is the best phone you can possibly get. Maybe this 1.7 will be better. But if you're looking to get something under $600, then this guy's the way to go by far. This is better than the Razer Phone 2 I had. I had problems with that phone. It's better than the OnePlus 6T that I had by far. I probably like it better than my S10, just because the S10 is a little small for me, but I do like this phone a lot. I've gotten used to using Gboard as well. I always use SwiftKey on here, but Gboard's been working all right here. And the camera's pretty stellar, so if you want a smaller phone, you can get the 3A, I guess. This is the XL, of course, but the XL is pretty great. Like I said, I may even buy this from one of these for my mom. I do kind of wish I got the white back, because the black's just kind of plain, but I might buy another one for my mom to use, because it's simple to use. It has a great camera. If I could trust my son not to break it, I'd probably get him one as well. And if I had to recommend someone that was switching over, like say my sister or brother wanting to get rid of their iPhone and switch over, I'd probably recommend this guy. So, I mean, it's nothing but thumbs up for me for this phone. Like I said, I'm going to switch to the 1.7 for a little bit, but again, I switch phones a lot. The only thing I keep coming back to is the Note 9. I'm going to sell this S10. I don't care about that at all. But the OnePlus 7 is pretty great. Unless you have the money to buy the Note 9, I recommend the Pixel. That may change once I try the OnePlus 7, but for now, the Pixel is a solid investment. Again, it's cheap. I got mine on T-Mobile. This is the T-Mobile variant. The only thing I wish it had was wireless charging, and I wish it was a little bit bigger. Other than that, I don't have any problems with the phone itself. Phone calls are great. Texts work great. Camera works great, of course. But yeah, I'll try to include some pictures, but keep in mind, I'm not a photographer. These are just random shit I'm taking pictures of. But overall, thumbs up for this phone. I recommend it. You should check it out. So I thought I would add on here. I just Googled it, and Pixels are apparently stupid and don't work with external microphones. So that sucks.